There are so many references to the U.S. Constitution nowadays. Turn on a television and news programs mention it. Social media mentions it. People mention it. So what's the big deal? What does the Constitution really mean? And why should we care? During the 1700s, King George III was the ruler of England, and the American colonists who came to this country were still subjects under his rule. They paid taxes to England and the king, but they didn't feel they were represented in America. They were angry, but the king didn't seem to listen to their concerns. The colonists had had enough of paying taxes to the king. They worked hard for what they had. They were tired of being told what religion to follow and not being allowed to say what they thought. If they had to pay taxes, they wanted to pay taxes and form their own government. They wanted to be free from the king's rule in England. As you can imagine, the king didn't want America to be a separate country, so he sent his military to stop the American colonists. America fought back. The American Revolutionary War lasted 8 long years, from 1775 to 1783. In the end, the colonists won their freedom from the king and England. A group of men from several of the states decided a formal government was needed to secure America's hard-won freedom. The new country needed to embrace the same laws and work together so that one person, like a king, would not tell everyone else what to do. This group of men, considered to be the founding fathers of our country, wrote the U.S. Constitution. It took 4 long years to draft the Constitution because they knew it had to be good enough to last and ensure Americans had freedom from a monarchy or dictator. The first part of the Constitution is called the Preamble. It states, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." Article 1 established the legislative branch of our government. It divided Congress into 2 houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. The Congress was given the power to coin money and collect taxes. They can establish a military. The Congress makes laws and approves many of the decisions of the executive branch. Article 2 established the executive branch. This branch carries out the law made by Congress. It established the office of President. Article 3 established the Supreme Court. This is the highest court in our land. The 9 judges who serve on this branch are appointed by the President. Article 4 established the relationship of the states. States were now required to obey the laws of the central government and to honor one another. The central government would provide a military to defend the states. Article 5 established a way to change the Constitution. The delegates knew the country was growing, and they knew that things would change. Therefore, they planned a way to amend the Constitution. Article 6 says the government must pay the country's debts. Any laws made by Congress or state governments must agree with the Constitution. Article 7 established the rules for ratification. Ratification means to formally approve. The U.S. Congress became the supreme law of the land September 17, 1787. The Constitution was great for the country, but what about the people? The Constitution was all about the federal laws of the land, but it didn't address laws to protect the citizens. So Congress got to work to create the Bill of Rights. These rights were written to protect the citizens of the United States. There were 10 amendments that were approved by Congress and ratified by the states. These 10 amendments make up the Bill of Rights, which include the following freedoms. The First Amendment provides for freedom of religion, press, speech, and the right to assemble in groups. The Second Amendment provides the freedom to bear arms. The Third Amendment prohibits government from forcing citizens to house soldiers during a time of war. The Fourth Amendment protects people from unreasonable search and seizure. A court is required to authorize any search. It can only be done when there is evidence a crime has been committed. The Fifth Amendment allows the freedom from being tried twice for the same crime when found innocent of that crime, and allows a person on trial to keep from testifying against him or herself. The Sixth Amendment gives the people the right to a fair and speedy trial by a jury of peers, and the people also have the right to an attorney. The Seventh Amendment provides for a trial by jury for disputes with monetary value over $20. The Eighth Amendment prohibits the use of cruel or unusual punishment and prohibits the demand for excessive bail or fines. The Ninth Amendment prohibits other rights held by the people from being denied by the Constitution. Citizens are still granted rights that are not listed in the U.S. Constitution, like the right to choose a certain job, the right to choose where to live, or the right to have a family. Finally, Amendment 10 delegates powers not granted to the government and not prohibited by the United States by the Constitution. These are considered the states' rights. These 10 amendments, our Bill of Rights, provide us with the special freedoms that are an example used around the world. Our Constitution continues to keep us free.